Okay,
that's
so
all right.
we
Tell
can
me if you want to change slides
exactly. Please
or
move to the second slide. I want to spend a few words only talking about the European Innovation Scoreboard that was published in the last few days. This publication is meant to highlight the strengths and the weaknesses of the different European member states and some third selected countries in terms of innovation performance. So I'm showing you this so everybody can get a better idea on like who are the innovation leaders in Europe. You can see a block of Nordic countries, basically the Netherlands, Luxembourg, Denmark, Finland, and Sweden were performing over the average of the European Union in terms of innovation. We have a group of strong innovators, those in green, and the rest of the countries that are colored in yellow and in orange, they are performing a little bit lower the average of the European Union. And with the next slide, I want to show just a glimpse of the innovation performance of the European Union globally. So the chart here shows that the European Union is performing a little bit better than countries like China and the US, but still lacking behind other countries like South Korea and Australia. I think it's interesting to note that the performance increase was driven by some of the indicators that are considered to make these measurements, to measure the performance. And one interestingly is the international scientific publications and that of non-R&D innovation expenditures. So those include the purchasing of licenses and patents, for example. Okay, so this was a quick overview, and I would like to move to the fourth slide, please. And if we can enter the reading mode, so to enlarge the slide, I think it's going to be even better. I am going to focus on the funding opportunities and the instrument to support innovative ideas that are created in four countries showed here on the map that exemplifies some of the ways the European Union has to, as Dr. Song once say, identify the innovative ideas and nurture them. Okay, so the next slide is going to focus on Ireland. Ireland is a country that you can see in green, so it's considered slide 5 a strong innovator. The Irish government has established this organization that is called Enterprise Ireland. And Vanessa, maybe we can move to the next slide, the number 5. Okay, let's continue. Enterprise Ireland is set up to support the Danish enterprises to start, develop, and innovate. What is interesting is they have a specific programs that is devoted to students. There is no specific grant, but a lot of supporting tools. These tools include, where is slide 5, so the previous one. If we can please go back. Yeah, these tools include incubation facilities. So, for example, incubation centers and business centers, they are located within the university campuses. Business expertise and market analysis is also offered, as students and scientists might not have competencies in this field. If with the support of the commercialization specialists of the technology transfer offices of the universities, the research project developed within the university is considered a high potential startup, then it can get additional support and even vis-a-vis meeting with the private investors to get the research project funded and spin out the idea in a new company. Another interesting point is that of the organization of annual events. This is great opportunity for students, for researchers, and for scientists of the university to showcase their ideas that can be commercialized and to pitch in front of a large audience, including investors, but also businessmen, other innovators, and potentially find an opportunity to develop and marketize their research work. Mentorship is also included. We can please move to the following slide. Here we're moving into France. France is again considered a strong innovator in Europe and provides two interesting grants. Again, starting from the idea that moving from concept to a fully fledged company is not always easy. So La French Tech is able to offer up to 90,000 euros to support innovative ideas through these two programs. The first one is meant to support any kind of innovation, so it's broader. This grant can cover up to 70% of the eligible expenses, up to 25,000 euros, and is addressing both entrepreneurs, so individual people who have an innovative idea and are happy to even register a sole proprietorship, and they're looking for financing. Also, new companies. New companies are considered those companies that have been established in the previous 12 months and fall into the categories of small companies with limited number of employees and revenues. So, if an individual or a new company applies for this grant, can get funding and support, especially in the processes of maturation and technical economic validation stage. Meaning, you have a great idea, but you need to develop a business model, or you need to start preparing a technology feasibility study. This tech grant is meant for this situation. And it can cover external costs and also 50% of the personal expenses. The other program I would like to talk about today is the French Tech Emerging Grant. This is addressing especially breakthrough innovative projects, those with high technological content. That is normally also called deep tech. Very disruptive innovative ideas that might have high entry barriers. In this case, as I mentioned before, the funding can go up to 90,000 euros and is exclusively for new companies established in the previous 12 months. Costs can cover both internal and external expenses, so including all those feasibility study and preliminary study to set up the startup or the company. We can move to the following slide, please. And here we're talking about Norway. You didn't see Norway in the colored map, as Norway is not a member state, but is an associated country. of the European Union, Norway is also considered a strong innovator, especially the Norway is considered very innovation-friendly environment. This is one of the strongest points. The national government has established this instrument that is called Innovation Norway. It's interesting that it dates back to the 80s, 50s. At the time it was creating loans, providing loans for farmers, and then it evolved as the needs of the society evolved into an instrument to support innovation and invest into prototypes, products, and ideas. In this case, the support is addressing young entrepreneurs and also startups. And they set up this investment to happen in two different phases. So the first phase is going to be the evaluation of the needs and a sort of testing. With the first phase, you might receive a grant between 4,500 and 90,000 euros. And if at the end of the first phase, the idea proposed is promising and the development plan is promising, then the startup or the entrepreneur can enter into the second phase that provide a much bigger grant, 45,000 euros. And so it is given the opportunity to brand out the new product, the idea into a new product, to put it out to be put out on the market. There are 7 sectors that are considered strategic in Norway. You can see them on the slide: energy, maritime, health and agriculture, and gas, seafood, and tourism. And those innovative ideas that especially falls under the areas of global sustainability and green thinking are considered a priority by Innovation Norway. Okay, so let's move from Norway to Denmark. Denmark is one of the innovation leaders in Europe. And I chose to present Denmark to conclude this overview with 2 different programs that are created by Innovation Fund Denmark, which is government organization that has the aim of supporting and enhancing the Danish international research and innovation, and has multiple funding schemes and multiple programs. We're seeing here today those they are addressing especially newly graduates and researchers or young startups. The first one is the one you see in this first slide. It's called InnoFounder. And its aim is to bring the business idea from a very early stage until a stage where it's ready for the market and is ready to be invested. There are 2 different InnoFounder programs. One that is especially for graduates, so students who just graduated from university in the previous 2 years are offered a grant and a monthly scholarship for a period that can extend over 12 months. It's going to be a monthly support of 2,000 euros, a grant of 5,000 euros to develop their idea, and also different form of supporting tools. Mentorship is offered, also spacing, co-working spaces, monthly workshop for training, and an access that is very valuable to network of startups, but also consultants and other large companies and investors. The second one, that is the InnoFounder experience, is addressing a little bit more experienced individuals that have work or research experience. So maybe also someone that is working on a postdoc, for example. Again, is a program lasting 12 months with monthly support and a grant to develop the business idea. There are higher, and it's supposed to start from a more developed stage, and so like some of the supporting tools that are available to graduate are not available to the experienced, but an ongoing dialogue is offered continuously by the founder representatives. I want to conclude to this last program, again available and set up by the Danish government, that is addressing SMEs, startups, and also scientists. I'm going to focus especially on the startup because it's probably more interesting to our audience today. Here we're talking about grants that are larger. They can go up to 0.7 million euros and cover 33% of the expenses of the project. The priority fields and actually research fields that are eligible for the InnoBooster are the one you can see in this slide: health and technology, food and agriculture, ICT, material and production technology, energy, environment, security. So it's quite a broad program that has different requirements that are related to the innovation of the idea, the novelty value, what the startups or the scientists are working on needs to be a product or a service that does not exist yet on the market. Or since we're talking about startups that have been established in the previous 3 years, or small enterprises, they need to be working on a process that make the company more efficient and create growth. Another requirement is that of value creation. They need to have a competitive advantage. The Danish Innovation Fund wants to invest in projects that can prove they are going to have a good profit in the long term. Implementation needs to be clear in terms of activities, in terms of concrete results to be achieved, and the project needs to be realistically budgeted. These grants cover up to 2 years and can finance different elements, salaries, knowledge and service providers, including those provided by university research centers, but also external consultants, for example. Material equipment is also included. What is not included in this programs, you can see the difference between the previous, the one explained in the previous slides, is that it needs to be at a little bit of a later development stage. So if you're have a project in health technology and you already have done your feasibility study, you have your innovation idea more developed, then you can apply for the InnoBooster. In terms of startups, those that are eligible needs to be established in the previous 3 years and have a potential that is proven through the strong skills from the team or already achieved results. Those can be, for example, patents or licenses or products that are already in the market. This grant, the application for this grant is open at the moment, and the deadline is half of November. So this was the last slide of my presentation, and I hope it gave an overview and an idea of the funding and also the supporting tools that are available for researchers and scientists who are willing to develop the research work that has been created in the university and make sure that they're able to valorize and make it valuable also from a market perspective. On this last slide, before collecting some questions, if there's any, you can find the QR code of EURAXESS China WeChat channel. So if you want to keep informed of our future webinars and our activities, please scan the QR code and to keep informed.